Hello, welcome to 15-Minute Consulting Best Practices. My name is Maria Isabel Rios, and I am here to answer your questions about how to create growth and success for you as a leader of a consulting firm and for your clients, for your practice overall. This space is nurtured by your questions, by your comments, and those of you who are familiar with the space know it takes me a minute to see what you comment on LinkedIn. So come in with questions, come in with comments, come in and participate exactly like Todd has done this morning. Hello, Todd. I will get to your question in a second. And we encourage you to add to the discussion. That's how it becomes richer. So thank you, Todd, for getting us started. I want to take on a question that was left over from last week. We promised Olga that we will tackle it first thing, and then I'm going to jump into your question, Todd. And everybody else who's here, I know it's a holiday in quite a bit of the world today. So if you're here and you're here live, first let us know that you're here. And also chime in with your questions so that we can address it as well. All right. Deidre, can you please share Olga's question? And that way we can get started. Thank you. So Olga had asked, her established 5-year-plus boutique consulting business is experiencing a significant slowdown. Revenue is down by double digits over the course of the last 2 months, which is very tough, Olga. I am so sorry. How do you determine when to stay the course and when to pivot to a different offering niche? Okay, Olga. And I know you know what we're talking about. So this is time to go back to what we call the problemeter exercise. We need to make sure you're fishing where the fish are, right? So it could be a situation where there's something happening in the market and people are taking a long time to make decisions, or it could be effectively, as you're suspecting, that the market has cooled down. And I know you're in loyalty, that in the space, people are no longer interested in this type of offering, right? So how do you know? You ask. What do you ask? What are people investing in? What are their priorities? What is top of mind for them? And you get to ask people in your network, people who are close connections, people who are decision makers. You also get to observe what is happening in the market. Where are people investing? And where are people investing in consulting and investing for help? Now, with the advent of AI and the acceleration of AI, a lot of folks are bringing especially services that have to do with analytics in home. It is very important to understand whether some of the work has been displaced or internalized, or the expectation is that this has been internalized. So good opportunity to do a refresh, to do a problemeter, and understand if you're fishing where the fish are, or if the fish have moved, right? And now you need to migrate with the fish. How do you adapt your knowledge? How do you adapt the value added of your firm? What you can bring to the table, to the problems that your clients or your prospects now, right, that your network is looking to solve. How do you ensure you stay where the highest priority, the most urgent, the most priority problems are for them, those problems that they're willing to pay to solve? So Olga, hopefully this helps. Time to do some research, right? Time to go back to the market, time to look at where people are investing, and that's how you refresh your knowledge about offerings. All right, let me know if that's helpful. If not, shoot me a note as well, and we'll keep chatting about it if you're here. And if not, also send me a personal note. All right, Todd, you ask a question for me. You're starting your consulting firm in the next few months. You're also considering moving from the San Francisco Bay Area to city like Pittsburgh. How much impact will your physical location have on your fledgling business? You like this relocation will be fairly invisible to most potential clients and unremarkable. True? Could be. It all depends, right? For most of us, our ability to deliver value through consulting, it's not location dependent. So unfortunately, this is one of your consulting questions where the answer is, it depends. It depends what type of consulting you do and how much being in person on location will be critical to you delivering value to your client. So Todd, if you can share what type of consulting you do, how critical it is to be on location, and how willing will you be to go back to the Bay Area to service potential clients once you are in Pittsburgh. If you're willing to be on location when being on location is needed, then you can live wherever, right? If, like us, for example, your location is really inconsequential to delivering great value to your clients and you can do so virtually, there you can move wherever you like, right? So think about, what does your client need? What are their priorities? What would it take to deliver great service? And how much being in a specific location is necessary to deliver value? And that will give you the answer you're seeking for your question. It's all about what delivering great client work will require, both in terms of expectation and how you're aligning your offering. And that's how you build the answer to your question. All right. Hello, John. There's a question from Tom as well. You're moving to India, Nepal soon. Oh, this is an answer. Okay, perfect. And your plan is to leverage the location, right? You're planning to be the person on the ground for companies having Indian outsourcing operations. You specialize in IT management, consulting, particular distress. Perfect. So in your case, Tom, you're using location as an advantage, right? Because you can both gain a local expertise and serve clients in person. So that's the right way to think about it, right? Does location add value? Does location not? If it's not critical, like you're saying, Todd, then perfect. Then, and you can deliver service virtually, and clients are open, or prospects are open to that, and that's a modality that's both accepted and that you can deliver high quality on, then go ahead. I mean, why not, right? That's the beauty of living in 2026. Exactly. Susan, but Todd could have relationships in both cities. Perfect. There's nothing like being able to deliver or build a network that is somewhat local, and that can help. And at the same time, you don't need to let go of your relationships. You don't need to let go of nurturing your relationships because you're not in the same location as they are. As you know, you don't go to your network core every month. You don't go to your network core every week, right? You go to your network core at least once every 3 months. So you can be very thoughtful, very intentional. If you need to be in person to maintain those relationships warm, and go back and forth at least once every 3 months, and be in person with those relationships in the Bay Area, Todd, at least once every 3 months, to keep them warm and to keep that connection going, if that is necessary. If not, then you do it virtually and you still maintain the intention behind those relationships. All right, keep asking questions, keep the conversation going. In the meantime, Deidre, I think there was another question that came in during the week, so let's get to that one as well. Thank you. All right, Robin had asked, I've been trying the Overture during conversations, and I have this question. Is it possible to do the Overture via email, or does it have to be during a live conversation? Okay, so Robin is referencing a technique that is similar to the turn, but it's quite different in its application. So for those of you who are familiar with the turn technique, you will apply it once an opportunity has actually been raised up in conversation and it's a specific opportunity. The Overture applies when you are in conversation with a prospect that you know very well. So either your prospect is very warm or very cold, not with a cool prospect relationship, and there are no specific opportunities in sight, but you know there is high potential of working together. So if there is an opportunity to work together and you know it, and your relationship is either warm or cold, this technique works. And Robin is saying, instead of doing it in person, can I do it via email? And the answer, Robin, is unfortunately no. It doesn't work well via email because the overture requires a two-part exchange in which you probe the relationship, right? So to maintain the conversation right side up, you need to be able to ask the first part of the overture, which is naturally in a spot where it naturally fits into the flow of conversation, to say, it would be great to have an opportunity to work together. Do you agree? Or some form of that, right? That's really difficult to do via email in a way that sounds genuine, in a way that sounds relationship building, in a way that allows you to preserve the genuineness of the conversation. It doesn't sound making up. It doesn't sound like you're queuing kind of like a fake fishing expedition up. So keep the overture in hand and deliver it in person, right? It's very, very difficult to do that effectively via email. And therefore, it tends to not work. It tends to come off as really fake or really something that you're doing as a cover to really promote or push for a sale, right? Because then when the person says, yes, it would be great to work together, but I don't know how. I don't have any projects in mind right now. Maria Isabel, what would you think? That's when you say, how about this? Are you open to having a working session where we brainstorm whether there are actually any opportunities to work together or not? And if not, then that's okay, right? That's the second piece of the overture. Very difficult to do that via email in a way that works, that it's constructive, that preserves your relationship, and that conveys the sense that if the person says, I like that idea, but I don't want to do that right now, you're going to be okay with it, right? You lose all the facial expression or all the tone of voice if you're on the phone, where you can convey your agreement with the idea that you're fine waiting and that your relationship has been preserved. So with your relationship in mind, you are not to do that via email very effectively. Now, the turn you can make via email, right? Because that in an exchange, you can say, hey, yeah, there's an opportunity right here. Can we have a separate conversation when we discuss, where we discuss this opportunity that you just raised up? Easy, right? They raised an opportunity. You're asking for a separate conversation to dive deeper into that one. But the overture, very, very, very challenging to have a separate conversation around. Okay, I hope that's helpful, Robin. Let us know if that's what you needed or not. And for those of you who are still scratching your head about the difference between the two techniques, go read our blogs, go read David's Irresistible Guide to Consulting, and you'll find the answers right there. All right. And with that, we come to the end of the 15 minutes for today. Thank you for being here. A few requests, as always. The first request is, if you're not subscribed to the articles that come out every week, please, davidafields.com/subscribe. They're filled not only with good content, but also with excellent commentary and back and forth and examples in the comments. So there's a lot of richness there. And if you comment, David will comment back. He'll add to the discussion, right? Same dynamic as we're having here today. Second request is, if you haven't yet put on your calendar a recurring event to join us every Monday, right? One of the three of us will be here with you every Monday. davidafield.com/Monday Live will be here, so you can join us as well and bring your questions. And the third one is, connect with me, connect with David. We love to be connected with you. Drop us a note. Tell us what you like to see more of. Send us your questions. That's what we're here for every Monday. And that's one way where we like to be connected with you. And this week in particular, coming off of Valentine's Day, which is a weekend that helps us remember that it's all about love. Let's keep that in mind, and let's give our network, let's give our prospects and our clients love in the most professional way, let's make these weeks all about them. And remember, that's what consulting is all about. And we're here to create success for all of you. So have a great week. Make it all about love this week. Bye.